Day 72, 9th of August. We woke early after a good night's sleep, which was a good thing as we wanted to get some photos of the harbour without the sun in our eyes. We also wanted to take the walk to Dorset Soapstone Quarry, dating back to AD 500. And there was this little island that had been set up specifically for picnics called Shelley's Island. It had been created as a memorial for a young boy who had drowned there in 1976. It was very unique and very special. From there we headed to Parquet, the locals call it Packet, and on the way we drove past a massive quarry, complete with its own deep ponds and totally ridiculous state-the-obvious signs that made us laugh. Then there was a couple of ponds that I could not help taking photos of. Driving down the hill into Parquet, Larry pulls over to let a car past, but instead the car pulls up alongside us. It was John, the mechanic who fixed the flux capacitor for us in Corner Brook. He recognised the RV and he remembered Larry's name. His father-in-law lives there and he was visiting for the weekend. Follow us, they say. Sure. There was John, his brother-in-law, John number 2, and his father-in-law, Tony, all in the car. Have you just arrived? Follow us and we'll show you a walk you need to do. So we followed them into the boonies and they walked part of the way, giving us a little local history on the way. Then they had to get home and get some jobs done.
We're out at the entrance to Parquet Harbour, which is otherwise known as Packet.
So we walked this amazing trail out to the point, eating local blackberries on the way that Tony had pointed out to us. When we got back to the RV, both the Johns were waiting for us to return. We chatted for a bit and were given the order to follow them again. So we follow them back to Tony's house and John comes immediately out with 2 bags of fresh cod. Here, put these in your fridge. Oh my goodness. We ended up at John number 2's house and once there he said, "You're coming in for lunch?" More of a command really. Newfies traditionally have a Sunday roast lunch. I hope he had asked his wife Janice before he invited us. Roast chicken, new potatoes, fresh veggies from their garden, salted beef, lashings of gravy. Wow. And their beautiful home is right on the water and has a commanding view looking right up the harbour. We felt like royalty. Much later, as we are reluctantly leaving, John stops at his freezer to give us a bag of snow crab legs. They are huge. Can you believe the generosity of these folks? Needless to say, we invited them back to our house in New Zealand so we could reciprocate. He also offered to take us fishing on his boat, but we declined as we needed to keep driving today. Thanks heaps guys, you're totally awesome. One more stop on this peninsula, Lascay. The road out there was particularly bad and full of potholes, which made for a slow trip, but they are starting repair work on it. I can see why they all drive big yuppie trucks. Lascay is a fishing harbour, no surprises there, but on a much larger scale than most we've seen. It didn't really push any buttons for us, but we were obviously far too spoiled at Parquet. So it's back onto that rough road, the only way out and off the peninsula. Back onto the Trans-Canada Highway all the way to South Brook, which is at the bottom of Halls Bay. And where do we park for the night? Right beside the seaside, of course. And what do we have for dinner? Alright, I'm boasting now. Fresh cod. And especially for you, Doreen, I managed to get, with my little camera, a sunset photo. We feel like the most blessed people in the world right now.